Immaculate is a horror movie starring Sydney Sweeney, where she plays a nun who has an immaculate conception. And like I said, it's a horror, so it's going through just the body horror of, you know, not knowing why you're pregnant and the ways that the church is moving to control her. Because here they are, they've confirmed that she's a virgin, but here she is pregnant, and all of the ways that goes in. And from the trailers, I was expecting this to be more of like a psychological horror, more of a, going into the horrors of the controlling institutions. And there's a little bit of that, but it does end up being a lot more just like visceral body horror than I was expecting, like fingernails getting ripped off, vomiting up teeth, weird things like that. Which I didn't really think added anything to the movie. Sydney Sweeney does a good performance in it. It's not the most amazing performance, I would say. This is like the third movie I've seen her in this year, because she was in Anyone But You and Madam Web, and I haven't been blown away by her performances, but this one was fine. The movie does tend to have an over-reliance on not just jump scares, but like nonsensical jump scares. Like literally one of the first scares in the movie is a jump scare where it's literally just the scene changes locations, and so the sound all of a sudden changes. Like it's a character is inside in one shot, and then the next shot they're outside, and then all of a sudden you just get jump scared by the sound of, oh, it sounds like outside now. And it was just like a sound mix issue that they decided to amplify enough to be like, oh, scene change. That was a jump scare. It was the laziest one I've ever seen. There was no reason for it other than to just be like, ha, boo. We said boo. You're scared now. It's a horror movie. That'll be $15, please. In fact, there was one point in the movie where I could literally count down. I was just like, okay, there's going to be a jump scare in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then bam, immediately there was a jump scare. I called it like down to the second. So my general view on jump scares is like, I think there can be a time and a place for it, but it's usually one of those things where like, if a stand-up comic were to jump off stage and go up to an audience member and tickle them, and then go, haha, see, I made you laugh, I'm funny. It's like that, right? Like, it's an involuntary response to the stimulus. Of course, a jump scare is going to shock you because it's doing something you aren't expecting. But that doesn't really equate to horror. I like horror to be more cerebral and more like actually evoking more complicated feelings of fear. And for a subject like somebody who is being controlled by the Catholic Church to bring about the second coming of Christ, there is a good element there where you could tell stories about the church's control of a woman's body, and the horror that goes in there. So the jump scares just seem superfluous. And yeah, like my chatters are saying, jump scares pretty much never get me. I'm mostly immune to cheap jump scares. Like I said, I literally counted down to the second when a jump scare was about to happen. So obviously that one didn't get me. Yeah, I don't know. Sydney Sweeney's performance is fine. I think it has some fine things to say about the ways that the church is controlling women's bodies. But also, I just feel like the film was a little inconsistent into whether it wanted to be supernatural or science-based. Like, because ultimately it just, there is a definitive answer to it at the end, but they still want to have their cake and eat it too. And it means that some of the things don't really make sense unless she had somehow been drugged earlier in the movie and we just didn't see her getting drugged, so she's hallucinating or something. But they never really explain it. So I was a little disappointed in this one. Horror, I know, is cheap to produce, so very easy to run into horror schlock. If you are squeamish about seeing body parts being ripped off, probably don't watch this one, but if you can stomach that, it's okay. Not great. It's not horrible. It's just okay. Hey, thanks for watching. Your view means a lot. Don't forget to toss me a like and subscribe and ring the bell. And drop a comment below telling me what you thought of the video. I stream Mondays and Fridays at 5 p.m. Pacific, so catch me live and join in on the convo. You can find all my socials in the description below, and thank you to all my patrons with a very special shout out to my Whale Shark tier patrons Ryan D and James Knight, and my Anemone Friend tier patron Piftle Cakes. Your support means the world. Catch you next time.